On the international front, vaccination campaigns are gaining momentum as they are being expanded to cover more members of the public and to offer more doses to those in need. Shin Ye-eun joins me now. Ye-eun.
Hello, Sunny.
Right, so let's begin with countries that are offering vaccinations to children below 12.
Right, so the United States has actually started administering vaccines to some 28 million children aged 5 to 11 from last Wednesday. In a week, they've inoculated nearly 900,000 kids. A White House COVID-19 response coordinator said another 700,000 shots are scheduled at pharmacies alone for kids in elementary school. And Israel is also set to vaccinate children in the same age range, a group that makes up 13% of its population. Israeli health experts on Wednesday voted in favor of the move, saying Pfizer vaccines in particular are safe and effective. Detailed guidelines may be announced to the public within 10 days, according to local media reports. As this age group accounts for a significant portion of the total population, there has been much debate as to whether herd immunity can be achieved without children being vaccinated, but the head of Israel's pandemic task force said vaccinations for children won't be mandated. Take a listen.
The main goal is to protect the health of children, but at the end of the day, the decision is autonomous and subject to private consideration, and it should be free of coercion.
Right, now, Ye-eun, moving on to booster shots, I understand neighboring Japan is poised to take part in this campaign.
Right, so Japan's health ministry on Wednesday gave the green light to booster shots using the Pfizer vaccine. Similar to Korea, they will first administer these extra jabs to health workers from December. One key difference, though, is that Japan could make boosters available to every adult aged 18 and up, which is a discussion that hasn't yet gained traction here in Korea. Once Japan has reviewed the safety data of booster shots in younger people, Japan might lower the age requirement for booster shots with detailed guidelines set to be revealed on Friday. As for Korea, extra jabs are currently offered to seniors over 60, younger people working in the healthcare sector, and also Janssen recipients.
Right. Now, Ye-eun, give me a second. I'd like to stay on the local front, and I'd like to direct this question to Soa. So tell us a bit about plans to make COVID-19 vaccinations here in the country an annual campaign.
Right. There are no detailed plans for that as of yet, but the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency is currently reviewing that as it has submitted its key government policies and tasks ahead in a paper to the parliament recently. And that is expected to include whether we should make vaccinations for COVID-19 a regular thing, just like we do for the seasonal influenza. But what was also in there is, interestingly, as Ye-eun talked about the children that are getting vaccinated around the world, Korea is also considering whether we should vaccinate kids aged 5 to 11 in this report, and also to expand the number of people who are part of a vaccination campaign for the seasonal flu. So that could be expanded to those aged 14 to 18 and also those 60 to 64. But again, when it comes to the vaccination for COVID-19, it needs more research and also more examples from abroad.
Right.
Right, so as you said, vaccinations are really important, and we can see that South Korea is really emphasizing that. But in keeping the outbreak under control, some countries have even taken more extreme measures to bring down the number of infections. If you take China, for example, which has been taking a very aggressive approach, in February 2020, China's state-run media reported that a court in one of China's provinces published an urgent notice that said anyone who spreads the virus intentionally and endangers public security would be subject to the death penalty, depending on the gravity of the violation. Those who spread false rumors about the pandemic can also face up to 15 years in jail. As of now, there's no data showing the number of Chinese citizens who have been convicted of these offenses. But nowhere near the death penalty, of course, but countries like the UK, Saudi Arabia, and Korea are imposing fines on people who break quarantine. If you take Saudi Arabia, for instance, it fines first-time offenders more than $53,000 or a maximum 2-year jail sentence.